Hey, what's up, guys? Dr. Ryan Weaver here with our Spinal workshop, our first one of 2025. We're going to dive into this and get started. Yes, we're going to be talking about resolutions, things to look at for the new year, setting yourself up for goals on this workshop. But I'm really excited. We're really going to attack this differently for 2025. You're going to be seeing a mix of myself, Dr. Helms, and we're going to bring in some special guests. My goal is about once a month. We have a special guest on varying health topics. We're going to dive a lot into families and chiropractic care. What I have in store today, we're going to be talking about your vision with health, other aspects of your life, discipline, and one other big thing is gratitude. So if you've seen any of our spinal workshops in the past, you know we bring these up to provoke thought, provoke learning, and to really take your health, both mental, physical, emotional, all to the next level. So today, the topic, as I mentioned, is our vision for our own health. The choices that we're going to make and the discipline it takes. Again, we are in January. For any gym owners, you're probably seeing a spike in New Year's resolutions. We're going to dive into some of the research that we see, why people fail, but also how can you succeed. Some of the other things we'll discuss today are how to reward yourself, anchor in, and some of the percents of failure, but also percents that reward us of how we can make a actual change and not just a fad. I do, like I said, have some research in this. So again, I'm really excited about this year and our goals. We're going to be a little more laid back with some of these things, and we hope that you make comments on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook post, so we can look at 2025 and how we can incorporate some of those questions that we find that are really good. So if you have some of those questions, make sure to comment in the link provided, and those are things that we'll look at for this upcoming year. But let's kick off and get started. So I mentioned, what's your vision? What's your vision for yourself, your family, for business, for work, for health, and all of those categories? And these are things that I would definitely urge you to get a notebook, an iPad, write these down somewhere, and it should definitely be something that is in front of you often. One of the things that we see succeed or help us succeed is when we actually write things down, and that's in our face. So whether you post that on the refrigerator, in your office, on your desk, even in your vehicle, the more that our mind is on these new changes that you want to have and incorporate, then they become more real and you become more dedicated to those. So let's start with gratitude. I don't have one right in front of me right now, but in previous spinal workshops and wellness workshops, if you will, not just obviously about our spine, that's why we're kind of switching some of the names to wellness workshops as well, but gratitude, actions, and services. So that's what the acronym GAS stands for. And if you've ever seen, again, those previous episodes where I hold up a index card, that's what I use. You can write them on a paper. I mean, now you can even make fancy pictures and write these on there. But breaking that down, something I think you could start out with for the new year is writing that every day, and text it to your wife, to your husband, anybody, maybe your workout partner, somebody that could help keep you accountable, and share that. And that's something that we see succeed, and why we're going to talk a lot about families, at least in chiropractic care, is we see that families who understand what exactly the mission of chiropractic is, and especially our version here of chiropractic care in Apex, how having a team grounded in the same beliefs and foundation, how that improves our success. So the G. So oftentimes what I'll do, and I'll actually just write this along with us here, but if you were to take, and hopefully you can see this on a note card, and if you were to just write the acronym GAS across there, you're going to write underneath the G anywhere from 3 to 7 things that you're grateful for. We see this in a lot of research. Starting off your morning with gratitude sets us up for a wonderful day ahead of us and to be in a gratitude or a grateful mindset. Because especially in the world we live in, high stress, low energy, low sleep, it's panic, our sympathetic nervous system is through the roof, and we often lose sight of what we actually have in front of us. So typically, things that you could write on there, what are you grateful for? Are you grateful for your health? Are you grateful for your significant other, your kids, your job, the fact that you have a vehicle and you have a roof over your head? Some things that are specific to you that you can write on there. The next category there is actions. So try not to make this a to-do list, and especially as you're setting up your goals for the year, what are those actions that you need to take today to help get you to that end goal? So maybe the action is that you read 20 minutes of a book, or maybe, again, to play on this time of the year, maybe you got to the gym for 20 minutes. What are those actions that are going to help you achieve better health, better family time, your education, any of those things that are specific to you? I typically try to keep that with 3 things. And until you achieve a goal, maybe of those 3, maybe 1 or 2 of those are actually specific every single day to the exact same thing. And that's okay. Because until that goal is achieved, you could still be working on that exact same process. So again, maybe it's to read a book a month. So reading 20 minutes a day, that should be every day. And then the last one is service. So maybe that is, I always reference this, buying coffee for the person behind you in line at a coffee shop. Or maybe a donation somewhere, or again, it doesn't ever have to be a monetary gift. Maybe it's just simply writing a thank you card to somebody who took a meeting with you or helped you out, or maybe just sending it to a family member. So those are things that you can list under the service category. Again, I personally do this every single day. Sometimes on the weekends I slack on that, but those are things that you can post again, in your car, at your desk, to, again, keep that in your head of what you should be working on. Because, again, especially in this day and age, there is scatter and chatter all around us that helps drive us away from the goal that we set at the beginning of the year. And, again, New Year's resolutions, somebody asked me this, when are you going to start that? You can start a resolution every single day. It doesn't have to be January 1. So that's where I wanted to go with the gas cards and starting off with gratitude. And along with that, we notice a ton of health benefits. Again, I focused more there on literally focus. What are we driving towards? And to be mindful of what we have in front of us and to be grateful for that. But mental health, this helps reduce stress, anxiety. Again, all these things help improve mood. Think about doing a service for somebody. You immediately have the same hormone release as the person receiving that service or gift that they do. And that's going to help continue to spin you forward. Promotes feelings of well-being, reduces symptoms of depression and chronic pain. Physical health, we see, you heard me mention this earlier, improves sleep quality, reduces inflammation, reduces the risk of heart disease, and promotes healthier eating habits just by being grateful. So the next topic of the 3, and number 2 and number 3 for me are kind of one, is discipline, not motivation, and what choices do we have? So I hear this often. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers. I just love to hear people's take on that. And for the speaking that I've done in seminars, I love to continuously motivate people. So you hear that often. People can be motivated, but that goes away very quickly. But when you are disciplined, that helps to drive us to, again, I'm going to talk a lot about the health goals here, but that can be any aspect of your life. If you are more disciplined, you are going to achieve the things that you want to achieve. So some research behind especially again January, you're going to hear me reference that often, is you typically hear to create a habit it takes 21 days. So where that came from was actually back in 1960. It was a self-help book called Psycho-Cybernetics, in which a plastic surgeon, Maxwell Maltz, observed that it took 21 days for patients to get used to their new appearance after plastic surgery. There was no formal experiment done. He found that in 21 days, that's how long it took them to cope with that or their new image. So a half a century later, researchers gathered, again, you're going to hear a lot of research this year, finally gathered that strong evidence countered this idea. A 2009 study found that the habits took a range from 18 to 254 days. Participants took an average of 66 days to reliably incorporate one of 3 new daily activities, such as, now again, I want you to put some thought into this, such as eating a piece of fruit, drinking an extra bottle of water, or running 15 minutes before dinner. Running 15 minutes, drinking a bottle of water, eating fruit. Those are so simple in the grand scheme of things. We're not talking about going for an hour workout. We're not talking about changing your entire sleep pattern. We're not talking about changing the entire way that you eat. And what they found, and they go on to elaborate on this, the smaller the change, the more realistic the change was to actually become a habit. So, again, I'm diving into a few research papers here. In 2015, a study found that new gym goers, so here we go, new me, new year, new exercise routine. New gym goers that exercised at least 4 times a week for 6 weeks, it took in order to develop a habit. Kramer was the research on this. His colleagues conducted a study that used machine learning to determine the need for habit building. The machine models analyzed repeated observations of behavior and factored in different variables. The results showed again that creating a habit such as washing your hands took a few weeks, compared to half a year it took for people to develop an exercise routine. So again, simple, short period of time, more in-depth practice, took a lot longer to develop that. So think of these things in changing. You're usually just a few millimeters away. I mean, again, I try to golf. I'm not a golfer, but think about golfing. If you hit a millimeter or two off from where you should, or that sweet spot on the club, that could be the difference between hitting the ball straight or you're going to be 30 yards off the green. So think of these little things as you're developing your discipline, as you're developing what those goals are. Little changes. Again, the old adage, consuming an elephant, you start one bite at a time. So you heard me, I believe, mention previously, rewards and anchors. So, and by the way, when we talked about January 21st, when they looked at people who picked a New Year's resolution, from January 1st to January 21st, that 21 days, only 9% of people were actually still doing what they said they were going to do. So, ways to improve that percentage up. What about rewards? Okay, I am not saying to make shopping a reward, but this is one they used in that research. Shopping. Let's say you did something for an entire month and you put, hey, I'm going to have a $500 shopping spree at your favorite place, wherever that may be, Easton, Target, wherever that may be. That help increase that percentage. Now, being careful with that. Another thing they found, if you were rewarded during, for example, exercise, maybe walking on the treadmill for 20 or 30 minutes, if you were able to maybe watch a show or a movie on one of these things, or even an audiobook, but creating something during that time helped improve that statistic and percentage of making a new decision become an actual habit. So a lot of us go through ups and downs. Nobody's immune to that. It's always going to be part of life, ups and downs. The things that we want to change, we are more than capable of change, but the sad reality, most of us won't. So again, I would urge you, when you're coming up with whatever change you want to do, write it down, have a significant other or a workout partner, whoever, help keep you accountable. And again, those are the things that help us succeed. So one of the, I'm going to bring this quote up here about gratitude as we started this, is the foolish man seeks happiness in the distance. The wise grow it under their feet. You're not wishing for a future you haven't earned yet. How we can be grateful for what we have manifested in this moment. So, vision, gratitude, discipline, setting up this whole new year for success. And I hope a little takeaway from this gratitude, from a gas card, even if you just started on a gas card, to be more grateful. That's a little change that you can do every single day. Little tidbits, I would say make it some fluorescent card so it doesn't get lost wherever you're going to put it, and you can see it up in front of you every single day. So your vision, your health, your discipline, what are you going to do for 2025? And one thing you could do, if you feel comfortable with it, comment what your new resolution is, what you want to work on, what you want to achieve. If you feel comfortable with that, drop it on our YouTube, on our Facebook link in the comments. And again, the benefit of writing things down is you see it, others see it, and it usually helps us become more successful. So that is our spinal workshop for January 7th, our first spinal workshop of 2025. Next few coming up, we're going to dive into actually some more research specific to choices and some other health decision making. We're going to dive into some family talk this month, and also have a few guests as well on here. So again, do us a favor, like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our Facebook page as well, and that way we can keep a good pulse on our community, our patients, what they want to see, and we'll always help to keep up with the latest and greatest trending topics. So thanks guys and gals for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful 2025 and start to the year. Be safe out there driving. Welcome to inclement weather, and we'll look forward to seeing you here at our next spinal workshop. Take care. Everybody, hope you enjoyed that spinal workshop. Don't forget to like the video and feel free to share it if you learned something. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you have quick access to our videos, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are alerted every time that we post a video. You can also check out other spinal workshops by clicking right over here. Until next time, make sure you live your best life, and we'll look forward to seeing you at that workshop.